Good morning! Good morning, good morning, everyone! Hello! How's everybody doing this morning? So many familiar faces in the chat. You guys always show up here to hang out for these challenges. Thank you so much. Nikki, Jan Eric, Mia, Faye, Alejandro, Sean, Ron, Sam, Peterson, the one and only, welcome in. Jennifer, it's good to see you. Steve, Festus, Casaboom, the man with the name, is in the chat today. Andreas, it's good to see all of you folks. Thank you so much for joining me again. It's good to see you, RB. Hello, hello. I see everybody also greeting each other in the chat bright and early this morning, or bright and early for me at least. It is about 9 a.m. Pacific time in sunny Northern California on a Wednesday morning. Susan, it's good to see you. Andrea, Mallory, it's wonderful to see you guys again. Melancholy Megan, my girl, what's up? Welcome in, everyone. My name is Voodoo Val, for those of you who don't know me, and I am going to be host and instructor for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge this morning. If you're over on YouTube right now, please head over to behance.net/live because that is where I am saying hello to everyone. That is where all of our helpful resources and links are going to be posted throughout the broadcasts all day today. And it is where we have our challenge tab where you can get more info about our challenge. And it's where the party's happening because I'm not going to be reading the YouTube chat, only the Behance chat. So behance.net/live. Come on over, come hang out. So yeah, I'm gonna get in today into a little bit about how you folks can join me like we do every day just before I jump into the challenge. I want to make sure everyone in the chat knows what's going on, where you can find all these resources, and then we're going to be diving into creating tombstones today because all of these are spooky and we have to make sure that we have the October spoops kind of covered, right, for these challenges. And we're getting closer and closer, might I add, to cosplay day. You guys know the last Friday of every DCC that I do, I do a costume, whether it's October or not, to be perfectly honest. So we have costumes this week. I don't know if you guys want to cosplay with me. You guys are more than welcome to wear costumes on your own and send me pictures. I would love that. But I'm going to jump over here to our landing page so that I can show you folks how to dive into today's challenge. So you'll know you're on the right place, on the right page if you go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, and it'll say September 28th to October 9th because that is the time frame we are working in currently. If I scroll down here, you can see there is a place where you can hit the register button here if you would like to register for the challenge. Basically what that does is it gives you a notification through the Creative Cloud so that you know when we're going live and all that good stuff. For the how does it work, it has a little 1 through 4 intro on basically how each day you're going to receive a challenge. If you scroll down here and take a look, you can see we have all of these challenges that have been unlocked. However, we do have some of these here. We have 2 more challenges after today for this round, and they are totally anonymous at the moment. They are totally ghosted. You can't see them because we don't unlock them until the day of the challenge. So we have done so far ethereal objects. We made ghosts and spooky things. We created magical potions. We designed crystal balls. We designed smoky text and words. We did a watcher in the window challenge where we put like scary silhouettes in the windows of a haunted house. We did an animation challenge where we did flickering lights, flickering on and off in the windows of that haunted house. Today we're going to be doing tombstones, and I know that we are working on kind of a collective project, which I will reveal on the final day. We're going to start combining a lot of this stuff, and the tombstones maybe are not working with our image of the house that you guys are probably familiar with seeing now after a few days working with the Hillside Manor image, but we're going to have to design some tombstones to start putting in the yard when we do our final project. So we're going to work on that today, and then we'll have 2 more challenges after that to put our whole scene and everything together. So if you want to get started with me, all you have to do is hit get started right here above the watch video button. It will take you to a place where you can download the starter file that I have created for you. And then if you need to come back and watch the video, you can hit watch video. It'll bring you to the VOD, and you can review what I did during the stream. Katrina, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Valder, my friend, welcome in. It's good to see you, Ted and Frank and Ken. I'm so glad you guys are here to hang out. Let me scroll through and see if I missed anybody. I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, Fairy's here. It's good to see you, Fairy. Vincent, welcome in. And Maureen. Oh, JD, welcome in. Yes, a lot more friends jumped in. It's good to see all of you folks. Okay, so I am going to pop over to the Discord real quick to show you where you can put your challenges once you're finished. And we're also going to take a look at everybody's work, and then we are going to make some spooky tombstones. What do you say? So this is the Discord link. If you folks would like to join the Discord, bit.ly/P Discord. That capital P and S is very important. I like to say this every time because I made the mistake of trying to type it in myself and I did not capitalize them, and it took me to the wrong server. You want to make sure that that P and S are capitalized in this URL so that you get to the right place, and when you get there, it looks a little something like this. Ooh, we already have! Fairy has already created a tombstone. That looks so good! Well done, Fairy. This is awesome. So great. We have already got a challenge entry that we get to review for the current challenge before I have even done it. You are a gem. Well done. So this is a tombstone from Fairy, and I'm looking in the current challenge channel of the Discord, and this is where everybody posts. So we did our animation challenge yesterday, so Ron P did this really awesome jack-o'-lantern that's just glowing. And Ron, I love that not only did you put that there is like glowing light inside of this jack-o'-lantern, but you also put a ring of light around the jack-o'-lantern, and you darkened the wall and the surface that it's on whenever the light dims, which is really, really awesome. So you have done a fabulous job here. I love it. Demarian Griffin, welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, what's up, Cody? Yes, Fairy is on top of things. I am very impressed. We did some smoke text. We got this one in here from Diagonal Lee. Well done. We've got Eric Douglas doing the Watcher in the Window here with this kind of old-timey Wild Wild West tavern kind of vibe here with this silhouette in the window. This is one that I really loved. This is from L Watch, who did the flickering, and I love that you didn't just do the bloom effect kind of like I did on the stream yesterday. You really you know, it fades in, and then you did your own thing with like a nice flicker of light on the inside. So it's like, what is going on in this house right now? I love it. I think you've done a spectacular job. I love the image that you chose too, and I also love that you didn't choose just one silhouette of a person. You've got like a whole scene going on in this whole area here, which is really, really cool. So well done. Thank you very much. If I had the time to go through everybody's thing here, I would, but unfortunately I don't. I'm gonna stop here on this one from Jude Klinger because Jude took this in a totally different direction and has animated the neon lights flashing in the Bates Motel sign, which is like so cool. This is amazing. So thank you very much to Jude, and if we have some more time at the very end, I will look at some more of these, but I do want to make sure we get to our challenge for today. So if you hit that get started button on the Photoshop challenge landing page under our tombstones challenge, you will get a file that looks a little bit like this. And this is pretty simple. Today's going to be kind of a relaxed, laid back bit of challenge because I know that yesterday we did like a pretty crazy challenge. In fact, both of our challenges so far this week have been like pretty hefty. So we're going to relax and we're going to use shapes, and we're going to use some blending modes and some layer styles and stuff to create some realistic looking tombstones in a pretty easy way. So I've got some shapes here. Basically what I intend for everyone to do is to open this folder that I have. I'm going to bump myself over here, ta-da, so that you guys can see the shapes layers and everything that I'm working with. And I've got a skinny rectangle, a circle, and like kind of an arch shape here, depending on what you'd like to use. And I encourage all of you to kind of arrange these shapes or create shapes of your own to create a 3D form. And one of the easiest ways to do that, which I'm going to demonstrate here, is I'm going to, actually what a good way to do this is I'm going to use this arch, so I'm going to pull it outside of my shapes group, and then I'm just going to hide my shapes group, and I'm going to grab my arch and bring it over here. Actually, I've got, let me real quick, there we go. I want to duplicate that because I got this going on where it kind of selects my whole canvas here, and I just want this one little image. So what I did right there was I held Control and selected the image of my layer to select only that shape so that I can have this little isolated shape, and the smart object does not go around the entire canvas like it was. And then I'm going to right click and just say convert to smart object. So I basically recreated that little shape, and I'm going to get rid of this one here. So sorry about that, but that's very, very easily fixed. Okay, so what I'd like to do is duplicate this little arch layer that I have with Control J, and I am going to, if I can, I do not know what is happening. Huh. You know, sometimes when you sit down to work, a weird thing happens, and that's just how life is. So I am going to, instead of using that shape, I'm going to make a shape from scratch. Let's do that instead. So I'm going to grab my rectangular shape tool, and I'm going to drag a shape out like this. This is actually how I created it for the smart object. Make my little shape. I'm going to select a gray color, like so, and then what I'm going to do is also select my ellipse tool, and I'm going to drag a circle out, actually, like so. I'm holding Shift to make sure that I keep that aspect ratio, and I'm going to drag it out like this and line it up like so. Boom. And if I zoom in here, I do not want to make another shape. If I zoom in here like this, I can actually see that I've kind of aligned it up towards the very edges of this, and hopefully if I hold these both together, I'm holding Shift and selecting my ellipse and my rectangle, and I am just going to merge them with Control E. And now I have like a little tombstone kind of effect here. I think what may be happening is, oh, you know what? You know what, guys? I think I'm working on my background. Is that what just happened? I think that may be what just happened. That might be my problem here. And I don't know why I did that, but now that I know what it is, I think I can fix it. So I'm going to come over here to my layer, and I'm going to make myself a new background and a new shape. Okay. Sometimes that happens, though. Bear with me. So I'm going to recreate my shape yet again, and I'm going to change it to gray, and I'm going to add my rounded corner. Val held space. Is she really Darth Val? I am Darth Val. I also respond to Darth Valpatine, which is totally fine and acceptable. That works for me. So I'm going to drag this out again to create our arch, holding shift to keep that aspect ratio and make it a perfect circle. Boom. And then I'm going to merge these together so I have my shape. And it is actually creating like a background, and I'm not exactly sure why that is, but that is okay, because what I'm going to do to fix that actually is grab my magic wand tool and select my shape and hit Control J and just cut that right out like that. And I'm not sure why that happens. I don't know if that's some kind of strange new thing that is happening at the moment. It has never happened to me before, but that's all right, because this is just fine. I'm going to duplicate this shape that I have, if it will allow me. I might just duplicate layer the old-fashioned way, like so. And then I'm going to free transform. I'm going to grab my move tool here, and I'm going to stagger these like this. So basically I have one in front and one behind, and I'm going to change the color of this one in the background here so that you can really differentiate between the two. And then I'm going to use my tools to connect them into like a 3D shape, essentially. So I'm actually going to drag this one up with my move tool just a little bit, like that. I'm going to select my bottommost layer, and I am going to hit Control U for Hue and Saturation if I can. I may need to do it. I don't think, I think I may be having a small issue, but that is fine, because what we can do is we can go through and open up everything through our menus instead of using the hotkeys, which I'm usually fond of. So I'm going to turn the Hue and Saturation down just to darken that one in the back. And then what I'm going to do in between here, I'm going to create a new layer with Control Shift in. And I'm going to grab my Polygonal Lasso tool, like so. And I am going to connect the corners like so. I'm just going to come in here and extend like that, like so. And you can use the shape tool for this. You can use the pen tool. You can use whatever you want for this particular step. I'm going to use the Polygonal Lasso tool because I just prefer it for today, because I think I'm having a slight technical difficulty, and I want to make sure that I can get this done and finished for the stream. We're improvising today because sometimes things happen and I'm not giving up on it. So I'm going to hold Alt, and I'm going to select this backmost gray color here, and I'm going to paint bucket in this shape here. So now if I hit Control D on my, or it's not, my hotkeys are not working. So if I just select a selection tool and click on my canvas, it will deselect. And now you guys can see that with those three layers all together, I actually have kind of a 3D-esque looking tombstone, like a classic tombstone, which works. Now I'm going to group all of these things together. I'm going to click my topmost layer and my bottommost layer that I want to have together, and I'm going to hit Control G if that will allow me. Nope. So I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to say group from layers. So we can do this the old-fashioned way. And I'm going to call this Tombstone. Boom. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drag in a texture, and I'm gonna throw like some concrete over the top of this. So I have some textures in my libraries. You guys can, I actually challenge all of you, in fact, to find kind of a concrete texture of your own. Try taking an image with your phone even to get your concrete texture, and you can go to places like Adobe Stock or Unsplash, or you know, any of these places to get an image of concrete if you need to. But it would be fun to see some of you create your own texture. So if you can, if you're able, today take an image of concrete, or like the sidewalk or the side of a house, or maybe if you have like some old kind of parchmenty looking paper laying around, that would work for this as well. Take a picture of it and see if you can use that image as your texture. I'm going to say create clipping mask over the top of our tombstone here, and then I'm going to put it on a blending mode. So I can kind of hover here and go over and preview all of these different blending modes. However, I think that I will probably end up on like an overlay, or honestly, multiply is not looking bad. Color burn also is not looking so bad for this. If I can just turn it down on a lower opacity. I actually really like this. In fact, I think that actually looks really good. So now it kind of looks like I have a little cement uh, tombstone here, and I really like this particular image because it has like deep grooves. So if you're going to be creating your own texture today, you can look at some of these deep grooves. Maybe you have cracks in the sidewalk beside your house, or something like that, and try and photograph some of those, because it really adds like kind of a realistic vibe to what we're overlaying here. If not, if you are going to be searching Adobe Stock or a place like Unsplash for an image, keep that in mind while you are hunting around for something to use. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some text. I'm just going to add the standard RIP to the front here. I'm going to say caps lock RIP. And I know that this is very, very small, so I am going to, first of all, change this to, Montserrat's not bad. I'm going to change it to black, and I'm going to bring the color of this down, and then I'm going to actually change the size. So let's come up here, let's try like a, maybe not a 30, maybe like a 48. That's cool. It's a little comical, but I like it. I don't know if I would use Montserrat on my own tombstone, but it'll do. It'll do. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click my text layer here, and I'm going to actually kind of look through all of our layer styles. So you can add some bevel and emboss. You guys can go through the different styles. You can do outer bevel, you can do inner bevel, which actually looks pretty cool. You guys can go through and look at the emboss and pillow emboss and stroke emboss. And you guys can change the depth. You guys can change the size of how things are going to look. That is an option for you. But another thing that you could also do is do the inner shadow, if at all possible. And for this, what I could actually do, I'm going to hit OK on this, but I'm going to change the color of my text to something a little bit lighter. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I'm going to do that inner shadow, and I'm going to make the inner shadow dark. So I'm going to turn that opacity up. I'm going to turn that size down. There we go. And I'm going to change the distance. Haha! So now it looks, you see how I changed that distance? It really looks like it's kind of carved in. And if I bring the size down even more, I can kind of chisel it even more. And I think that actually looks pretty darn cool. So I think I'll probably keep this. How much time do we have? We are kind of right at the wire, so I am going to probably leave it at this for now. I think I will come back and add a little more details and things to it, which I won't do on stream because I think I need to restart my Photoshop. And I apologize for any of these small difficulties that we had during the stream, but honestly, maybe it's best that that happened, because sometimes in real life stuff happens, and that's okay. And there are other ways to do things. In Photoshop, there's a million zillion different techniques, most likely, that you can use to do any one project, which is one of my favorite things about Photoshop. So we can kind of noodle around and do things a little bit differently to achieve the same goal, which works. So I've got my tombstone. I'm going to make even more tombstones today. And the last thing that I want to do before we sign off here, since we do have a couple of minutes, is I am just going to pull up the Discord yet again and take a peek at some new pieces, because I think if we scroll up, we can go to, where did we end? I think we stopped at the Bates Motel. So we can kind of look at a couple more of these. So I know Elise says, watcher in the window would like some feedback for improvements. I love this. I almost think that more of the green should be coming in through the house because the visibility on your watcher in the window is a little bit low. But I do like the image that you've chosen. I do like kind of the green that you have going on here. But I would say try and add more green into the window panes itself so that it's like glowing from behind. And then when you put your watcher in the window, it will kind of silhouette that shape, and then your eyes, the eyes of your viewers, will go directly to that, which is probably an interesting thing to try. But well done. Thank you for posting. We've got this one from Key that has done the flickering lights in the window, which looks so great. It says, I enjoyed this challenge so much that I have a second attempt. And I love this. So we have the flickering welcome home and then the flickering monster face, which is just hilarious. So thank you very much. And then lastly, we'll take a look at one more. We have this one from Jillian. Whole series by Val was really fun and excellent for learning skills. Thanks, Val. Loved this challenge. Thank you very much for participating. I think this is really cool. So this was from our crystal ball challenge, which was a lot of fun. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I wish I had time to look at every one of them on stream. But I know that we will have challenge reviews later today during one of our broadcasts. So stick around for that. You guys have been fabulous. Thank you very much. And I will see you tomorrow morning for another spooky challenge. See you later, everybody.